Welcome to the show, Tim. You graciously agreed to talk about how it went at the tournament this weekend. Unfortunately, I could not be at the tournament, even after working up to it and finishing uh, my warband 2 weeks in advance and getting some practice games. So luckily, you could go. So
Yes.
we agreed beforehand that we would talk about experience. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to share any of my experiences, so we're just going to be talking about Tim, the man, the legend. So you're relatively new to Saga. Do you want to tell us about your history on Saga?
Yes. So I discovered, I don't know, tabletops in the like right before Corona hit, or like COVID hit. And then I went into 40K, and then a friend of mine introduced me to Saga like 6 months ago, I think. like yeah, in last, I don't know, August or something. And I loved it. It's a very good game. It's very easy to get into, but I think it's very hard to master. Like you can play a game for like, I don't know, 60 years of miniatures and dice and whatnot. But like to get really good at the game, it takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of like consideration for your warband and everything. I think that's like a sign of a really really good game. So love Saga right now. Probably even more than I love 40K. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, so that's a relatively short history in terms of miniature wargaming. So I'm glad you ended up in Saga.
Right.
And we ended up meeting a few months ago, I believe in November, in the Call to Arms tournament.
Yes.
And there you were playing an interesting list. We'll maybe talk about that later. But
Yes.
um, what keeps you busy now, and what armies do you have, and what are you looking? What's the future hold for you?
Right. I probably should have done like made notes for this, because I think I have, I don't know, 10 armies or something. In like 6 months. So I have Vikings
It's
and
totally not a problem.
yeah, right. So Vikings and Joms Vikings, I play them the same. I know they kind of look different. Joms Viking had like a kind of different like look, but I'm not that big on, like not that big on historic accuracy. So yeah, I have those. I have Vikings kind of. I have Scots. I have Irish. I have Anglo-Danes, Anglo-Saxons. Um, I obviously have Huns because I played them at the tournament yesterday, or like steppe tribes, whatever you want to call them. I have Republic Romans and late Romans. I have Byzantines. Let me have a look. I'm pretty sure I have even more, but I can't remember. So yeah, I have like 10 armies, I think. Um, yeah, all in 6 months. I have two painted armies, like three, I guess. Um, I painted up the Huns in 2 or 3 weeks now. That was really cool. It's 36 horses, so, or 38 horses. That was very, took some time, but it was really fun. So coming from 40K, where every army is like 800 euros or something, I have, I don't know, probably like 30,000 points of 40K in like 2 years. So it felt so easy to get into Saga and buy like 2 or 3 war bands, and it doesn't really kill your paycheck if you spend like 50 euros a month on one army, which is usually like one army at its core. So yeah, that's what I have. Next up, probably gonna be the next book. I don't know. We'll see.
Cool. That's pretty impressive. Not gonna lie. It's, I knew you had a lot. I didn't realize it was quite so much, but good to get the enthusiasm levels high.
Yeah.
So, how's the scene around where you live? And you're obviously a tournament player, or you enjoy tournaments.
Yes.
So, how's that going so far?
So I just moved to like to northern Germany, to Osnabrück, and there's not there's not that many people here. I messaged like 2 weeks ago. I messaged all the tabletop clubs I could find out here, and I found 2 clubs, and I messaged them and was like, "Hey, I love to play Saga. Do you guys play Saga? Because I don't know anybody here that plays Saga." And like in both clubs, there were people that play Saga, and the next tournament in Germany is going to be in May, and like it looks like right now that 8 of these people in these clubs are going to come with me to the next tournament. So I think I'm because I really love the game. I'm kind of like collecting people that play Saga right here. So I'm building my own scene, I guess, because I really want to play it. And like in the one club, even there were 3 people there that play Saga, and they didn't know of each other that they played Saga. They just found out because I was like, "Hey, you guys play Saga?" And they were, "Yeah, I play." And then he was like, "What? You play? We've been here like 10 years. Why didn't you tell me?" And so I think there's like around 10 people where I live right now in my city, which is amazing because the city is very small. And I think it's going to be very great here soon.
That sounds very promising.
Yeah, it's
Um,
amazing.
it's because last time we spoke, I think you were despairing that you hadn't reached out yet to, or you hadn't found anyone.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
glad that's changed for the better.
yes,
So great. So what are your tips for any new players, by the way? Are you like you might you've kind of gone on one end of the spectrum where you have everything. Like
yes.
how do you suggest people get into the game, and what do you think older people or people who've been in the game for a while can do to kind of help the scene?
Right. So I think the best thing for that is to have like just 2 very balanced-ish armies. Like own 2 of them as an experienced player, own 2 of them, and have like cool. I don't know. I love it to invite people that have never played Saga to my place. Let's play Saga. I have everything here. We can just play, and it's like it works so much better if you have 2 fully painted armies. If you have like nice scenery. If you have a nice playmat, and I think that's amazing to get people into like the feeling of Saga. And then when they're like, if they get hooked, if they like the feeling of the game, if they like the mechanics of the game, I think it's so easy to just go out and buy one Victrix set for like I don't know 40 euros or something, or
Yeah,
buy like
that's more than 6 points in a bag normally.
yeah for Vikings, like especially for Vikings. I'll be honest, I don't like Vikings. Like the Vikings, I don't like the aesthetic that much, and I don't think the Viking board is that good. I think the Yoms Viking board is quite alright, probably in like the upper half. But yeah, anyway, um, you can totally go out and buy like the Gripping Beast starter sets for like Anglo Danes. I think that's probably one of the best value boxes out there right now to just like get going. Um, yeah, so if you want to get anyone into Saga, just play a game with them first before you like tell them. That's what I do before I tell them to buy anything, because it's very hard to like for someone to commit money to something they don't quite know if they like yet. So play a game, like point them in the right directions, what to buy, what not to buy. What is I'm very young, so I don't like white metal at all. I think it's terrible to work with, and I know the everyone older than me, like everyone else at the Saga tournaments, is usually like, what the fuck, dude? White metal is the it's just
It's
that's the
controversial take right now, but
yeah, it's the one way to go, and I totally disagree because I'm coming from 40k. I don't know white metals or resins, so I hate working with that. So I usually like just go like tell them go buy a plastic box. It's like 20 bucks. You go ahead, buy it, and you'll be perfectly fine. It's good. It's a good army. The especially the Anglo Danes warbacks, the starter box from like Gripping Beast is such a good buy. It's like 4 very good points. Yeah.
yeah, I think so too. Also, the one box I love is the Gripping Beast Archers, and also the Gripping Beast just Dark Age Warriors, your standard
Right.
guy. It's 25 euros, 40 guys.
Yeah.
You're just good to go.
Yeah.
They're not the nicest sculpts, but they're solid for gaming. They're quick to paint up, and you can use them for anything from Vikings to Anglo Danes to
For
Welsh
sure. Yeah.
people to Age of Invasions for most of them. So it's you just buy one, you paint a warband generically, and you're covered for easily a quarter of the warbands.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. One side note on those. I think the head sculpts for the bowmen or for the levies are terrible because they're like quite old. If you look at the box art, or if you look at the little heads when you get the box, I don't recommend using them. You can just get like a Victrix or Wargames Atlantic set, any set, Dark Age Irish or Vikings or Anglo Danes, whatever you want to do, and just use their heads because
Yeah.
they look perfect on the bowmen and also on the warriors. And
Yeah, I think
the
that's a really good point. There's so many heads in the Victrix sets. If
yeah,
you know anyone with a set, they're more than willing to part ways with them, and you can easily switch them out. I did that for my Anglo Danes. I've done
yes,
that for my using the Germanic warrior heads. I've done that What else? I think even the newer sculpts for the heads from Gripping Beast in the late Roman cavalry, those are pretty good as well. So
Yeah.
I think yeah, they have a lot of potential to, but you need to do something a little bit extra with them. I agree.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the tournament. Maybe we we talk about why you took the Huns. Maybe your first thoughts about them. Uh, Maybe not going super deep into the board, but we can maybe reserve that for a different time.
Yes.
Um, why the Huns?
Right. Because I'll be honest with you, I think so. I love playing Saga, and it's nice to win, but it's not a must for me. I think winning is kind of in Saga the you don't need to win to have fun. I think that's different in other games, but in Saga that's what it's like for me. But sometimes it is nice to win, especially after the last tournament where I just went with the like fun list that was there to have fun. And this time I thought, come on, dude, every other tournament you can try to win. And I think, in my opinion, the composite bows are one of the most broken thing in Saga right now. From like in the way I see it, because you can just every other activation is just shooting, and the enemy can't do anything about it. And even those shooting activations usually take away your fatigue because they want to um, use them for armor and all of that. So I think it's very good, and obviously Huns they are composite bows. Their whole army is just one bow army. So I thought, yeah, come on, I'll just play them. I think they look amazing. I'll play them. I think they have a great play style. Their abilities work super well with composite bows. So why not go with that?
Yeah, I think it was a very ballsy move to choose the Huns also maybe a month before the actual tournament and
Right.
build warband from scratch.
Yeah.
So congratulations for pulling that one off.
Yeah. Thank you.
The what are your first impressions playing the Huns? I guess technically you were playing the Steppe Peoples because old friend new enemies were allowed.
Yes.
So the changes there are that you can't have mounted levy, if I
Yep.
remember correctly, and
And
you can take levy with spears or I guess melee weapons and levy with bows, and then your Hearthguard can also take composite bows if they choose to. What do you think are the standout 2 or 3 abilities for this board?
Right. So it's definitely the Endless Horde, which is an activation ability. You can, for one common and one uncommon dice, you can activate three units, and if they're Huns, so if they're like your warriors or your veterans, they don't get fatigue, which is amazing. And then right below that, there's another ability that lets you that's quite expensive, but it's also really good in my opinion. That's one uncommon and one rare die. And you can activate 2 of your Hun units, and they can attack or shoot. And for every fatigue the enemy has, you get 2 bonus attack dice in melee and 1 bonus attack die in shooting. So I never use it for shooting because I think that's quite the waste. Because you can shoot for free anyway.
Yeah.
But it's for attacking, it's amazing. If the enemy has like two fatigues, and then you just get, I don't know, you put 4 warriors in and they get 8 attack dice, you can go up to 16 with them for just 4 warriors. It's amazing.
Really good because you struggle so much with fatigue with composite bow factions.
Yeah.
And that really mitigates some of the issues that you're going to have. So maybe we can talk a little bit about how you've run them and
Yes.
maybe why you took them that way.
Yes. So I did a lot of preparation before I bought the army because I thought about it a lot because many people like veterans on them, many people like warriors on them, and so I decided to go with 4.5 points of mounted warriors, so that's 36, and 1.5 points of mounted bow levies, and 1 just standard warlord on horse. Yeah, I don't like Hearthguard because I think they're too squishy. They just because they're armor 4, they die super easily, and they're only the same toughness, and with that I mean they get the same value out of like being attacked as warriors if the enemy has 2 fatigues. So you can pull up your armor up if you want that. But I don't think the Huns are very good at surviving. I think the Huns are very like deadly. They go in usually they kill what they touch, and they get like half of their own unit obliterated. But that's just the way of the Huns, of the board, not of the tribes back then. I'm just saying that's the way of the how the board works. So yeah, unless the enemy has 2 fatigues, the enemy unit has 2 fatigues that you can use to up your armor, which you don't want to do, in my opinion, or you generate defense dice for any reason. It's the only other scenario where you want veterans over warriors, and usually the Huns don't have enough dice to go into the next turn with your Saga dice, because you need all the 7 dice to go in, hit, and go back without dying. So you don't really have defensive dice for the next turn. So I think the veterans die too easily, so that's why I took 4.5 points of mounted warriors. And
yeah, it's a few bad rolls and you're already losing a point easily.
Yeah, that's it's terrible. So I played them as 3 times 12 warriors, because I think that's what you need. In my opinion, that's what you need to do with the endless horde ability.
Yeah.
Because for like 5 dice, you can move 3 units of composite bow warriors into the enemy, shoot, and back without taking fatigue. Or you can move them in, move a little without fatigue, and then shoot again. So that's 36 shots for 5 dice. And that's just amazing because it's in packs of 6. So any abilities the enemy has that like gives them defense dice just don't really helps, because you can just use that for maybe 1 or 2 of your shooting activations, but not for all 6 of them. So yeah, that's what I did, and I gave one of them because, as you said before, Huns just struggle so much with fatigue. If I rack up fatigue on my units, it's very hard to get back. So I gave one of my 12 stack of warriors a banner, because you just need to get rid of the fatigue. Really, you do. So otherwise, you don't have the dice, and you don't. There's no other ability other than like to rest for units to get rid of to get rid of fatigue. So I think it's very hard to deal with fatigue. And
I think that's consistent also with the old board. Maybe one thing to talk about is also why the 1.5 point of levy.
Right, because like having 4.5 points in 12 stacks just means you don't have that many Saga dice, and you need, in my opinion, you need 7 or maybe even 8, but usually 7, because you use all of your dice every turn. You need them. So I played the levies as 666 to generate 3 dice, and also that was just a nice coincidence. I didn't really care about that, but also the scenarios we played were survival points or whatever they're called. And like every 6 stack of levies is worth 3 points, so that's huge. And in all 3 games of the last tournament, I didn't lose 1 levy. Like all of my levies survived all 3 games, because they're not there to do that much. They usually take the objectives after a while, because there's just 36 riders in front of them that the enemy needs to chew through before they get to your levies. So they're quite safe. They take objectives, they generate Saga dice, and that's really all they do. Sometimes they shoot once a game or like twice a game. Just yeah. But I don't think these levies that the steppe tribes have are too good for the Huns.
Next step, we can talk about the tournament itself.
Yep.
I'll let you say the title, and maybe you can talk about the scenarios.
Yeah, it was called the Scheunen Saga. It's a German event. It was in an old castle. Actually, it was very, very cool. It was an actual castle, and it was amazing. Anyway, the scenarios we played. I don't know the English names. Maybe you do.
The first one is feasting and pillaging, right?
Right.
Yeah, feasting and pillaging. What's the next one? Ambush, and then the last one was
change plans.
Change your plans. Yeah.
Feasting and pillaging. I can't take the objective markers, because there's no way. We talked about it before I went to the tourney. Yeah, I just can't, because the horses, I just have 3 big units, and if they take the objective markers, they're screwed, really. So we talked about it, and we said, I can't take them, so I gotta make sure the enemy doesn't take them. That's basically what I need to do. I need to run them down so far in their own zone that they can't afford to go out for the objective markers and get them. the way this was done was like really cool. The last scenario change of plans was made so that your warlord kill counts double for like everything, for tourney points and for like in-game points. So it was really about killing the enemy warlord because he was worth so much without having to play Clash of the Warlords. So I think they did that very, very, very well.
Yeah, so maybe we can talk about the first your first game. You can briefly go talk about maybe who you played against.
Probably like half the points of the game, like 6 points, were just dead in turn 2. Half of like 1.5 points of or like 2.5 points from like of my army and like 3.5 points of the enemy army just dead by turn 2.
Which warband were you playing against?
Right, Umayyads,
Oh, right, okay.
the Moors from yeah. So I hate playing against Umayyads because they spam fatigue and I can't handle fatigue. Like for every other warband, I think Umayyads are quite manageable because Moors are not that strong right now. Like we all know that they were super strong. They're not like strong right now. So strong right now. Yeah, so he spammed fatigue every turn for me, and I knew if I wait too long, I'll just be too fatigued to do anything. So I just went in turn 1, set everything up. Turn 2, went in there, didn't retreat. So I just went in there with like 36 composite bow shots and some more charges, and I think it ended up being close to 50 arrow shots, and like I don't know, some like 2 charges, and yeah, so I needed to kill as much as I could, which I did, luckily. Yeah, so it was very bloody, was very quick as well. It was like 1.5 hours for the whole game. Levies didn't do anything, as I said before. They just went for the objective markers and went home with them again. So it was all about killing
the
them.
most important thing to be doing. So I think they're maybe the MVPs of the match.
Yeah. So the game turned out 32-3, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So I lost a lot, but didn't lose a lot of units and generated quite a few Saga dice in the end. So yeah, not the most interesting game of the tourney, I think, because it was very one-sided. My opponent was amazing. He was super nice. He won the best painted for the tourney. It was an amazing game, but maybe tactically not the craziest.
Sure. And what about the next one then? So you're up 1 already. So you're flying high. You're approaching the heights. Who's your next opponent?
Right. So I had by that point I had the most points in the tournament, which was very lucky because I scored like 32. And my next enemy, was Umayyads again. So Moors again. And he was very good. He was an amazing player, like an amazing person, but also an amazing player. And his warband was the same as the guy before. So this game was incredibly close. We played ambush, and I don't really have the means to tackle the ambush markers. I can't really take them out unless I waste a whole unit of 12 warriors 1 turn to fight the wagons or whatnot. So didn't do that. Neither did the enemy though. So we just, it was very slow. Because I couldn't quite. He had like a 12 unit of warriors, and they were just one big meat shield in front of his like mounted veterans. So I couldn't quite get to the meat of his army. So he played it super well, moved up slowly, even though he could go out with like his veterans and go all in. He didn't. He just waited. And so did I. I mean, I had to try to take some pot shots, run there, shoot, run back without being in range for him to get close. And it's also very annoying because the Moors or the Umayyads have the forces of the Maghreb, I think is what it's called. So I need to stay even further back, which I can't because I need to shoot. So I was
that's the one where they move L plus short, right?
L plus short, exactly. Yeah. So makes it quite hard for a 12-man stack of like mounted warriors to get in range to shoot without being after running back being in range of L plus short. So he played it super well. We played the ambush mission they play at the tourneys here in Germany are usually 6 turns and not 5 because the first turn is just wasted by running in. So end of turn 6, we destroyed everything again. I didn't have that much left. I think two warriors mounted were left, and for him, and like my 18 levies, and for him, I don't know. There were like 3 warriors left and like his 12 levies. Yeah, not that much going on. And it came down to if my 2 warriors, so one shot, could take out his fatigue 3 warlord, to see if I can win. And they did not, because they, yeah, he rolled. He did well. I had extra dice, but it didn't work out. So we dropped. We played 9-on-9, and it was, yeah. I went to bed after that game for half an hour. Just took a quick nap because my brain was just out of it. Amazing game, amazing player, really nice warband. I hope I never see Umayyads again.
It's not the most played warband, so it's quite amazing you managed to get two in a row.
Right,
But
yeah.
at least you're probably the most experienced anti-Umayyad player now in
Right,
Europe. So
right.
I guess there's that. And so 1 win, 1 draw. How's the last round?
Okay, so the last round was change of plans, and it was against Irish. They had 4 points of bow or sling levies, and 1 point of Kurites, and 1 Iggy, like the mercenary. Yeah. So that was interesting because obviously they with like one of the Irish abilities you can activate for like 1 common die for like bow or sling units now, because he has 4 heroes, which is amazing. And he played it very cagey, I would say. He was very precise with his movement, and he knew what to do. And it was a very tough game, because you can't quite get out of range of that many levy units and like still try to get control of the board. It's just not possible if he has he split his 4 points up into 5 units, I think, and it's very hard to to take board control with that many units running around. So yeah, tried to run in, kill some stuff, and then he kind of pulled for his sent his heroes, his warlord Kurites and the mercenary up front, and try to, because they're very unkillable with the Irish board because they have resilience too, and so he pulled them forward. I killed them luckily in like 2 turns, and then I just got devastated. Like I can't really get back after that blow, and he took out all of my warriors again. I think I had 12 warriors remaining, but they were like just taking care of some of the Irish bowmen. They were not part of the core of the battlefield at that moment. So that was a very bloody game as well. Very many dead horses and bowmen, slingmen, whatever. But because I killed all of the warriors, there was just so many. I killed all of the heroes by turn 2 and 3. So that was like so many points for change of plans, because after turn 3 you calculate
It's
kill
massacre
points.
Yeah.
Massacre points. So that was just, I had a huge lead. I think I had like 21 points just right there. 22.
And I guess it also makes it difficult for the Irish player to activate their units after
Right.
losing them.
Right. So
that takes off. What's that ability called again?
The old way.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's true. He he got kind of lucky. He rolled 6 elks, 6 rares on turn 4 and 5. So he got back into the game quite a bit. He took out most of my units then, and I won by turn. Yeah, by turn 5 you count survival points, I think. And he was huge on that, because all of these levy units just always generate dice. They're worth so much, even if they're just 7 dudes. They were worth 4 points. It's that was big for him, and he kind of caught up to me. And then I didn't have that much left. Just my levy units running into his the whole game. They were just running into his half of the board to get in end of turn 6 to get the conquer points. So end of the game, I had 33 and he had 31. So I won, but it was very close. I think I got lucky at some points, and then he got big luck on his rare rolling skills or whatever. It was a good game.
Okay, nice. So what was your overall result then?
So I got 3rd place. there were 22 people there. I got third place, which is super cool. Considering I drawed in the like second game, and I got Berserker of the tourney. So I killed the most warlords. And like I'm pretty sure I killed the most units overall because that's just the Hun way. I mean, including my own, obviously, because I kill all of
It
my
sounded
own.
pretty bloody
Yeah,
overall. But yeah, congratulations. That's a
thank you.
really good
Yeah,
result as well, given the quality of people playing there.
yeah.
What would you change for the next time, actually?
Right. So I'm not 100% sure, but I might drop half a point of levies and drop like 4 warriors, so go down to like 11, 11, 10, and do that, and to get like 1 point of mounted Hearthguard, because the mounted Hearthguard can just get such a big punch in with the second activation ability on the like bottom left of the board. I can't remember what it's called. That just because it generates extra attack dice
Yeah.
per fatigue the enemy has. So if you send in four Hearthguard, you can because you have one ability that lets you like make the enemy unit count as having 1 fatigue more. If they have 3, you count them as having 4 fatigues. So you get just 16 attack dice with 4 Hearthguard from the get-go. And then you can get 5 attack dice more with another ability for just 1 common. So you get, like, without a hustle, without anything too crazy, you get 21 attack dice with a unit of Hearthguard, which usually kills everything because, yeah. So I think that might be good. To have an actual melee punch might be good because and they might not actually die, because if you do that, the enemy is exhausted. So they hit you on 6s, no matter what you charge. If they hit you on 6s, you're probably not going to die. So I think that might be amazing. It doesn't change anything about the Saga dice. I still go with 7 because I just changed 1 levy unit for 1 veteran unit or Hearthguard unit.
All right. Thanks a lot, Tim.
Yes.
Good chat with you. And was fascinating hearing your tournament report.
It was very fun.